All right, folks, welcome to After the Whistle, episode 2.10. That's right, season 2, episode 10. Gentlemen, how was your weekend?
It was wonderful.
Gee, me.
Yeah, dog.
Gee, me.
Boys, I'm telling you, boy, that's what it happens sometimes.
Oh, really?
Did you put you some Palmer butter in them French fries over?
I need these to get my energy back. My shoulder was feeling better.
Yeah, that old match cream just run out after a while, evidently.
Hey, boys, well, they played 3 tough ball games in a row. They was at Murray, and who else they played? Tazewell, and then played Graham back to back to back. That's 3 tough ones right there.
Oh, yeah.
You can't expect it. Thank you, Pistol.
All right, folks, interesting week of football. A lot of things changed.
Big upset this weekend.
Yeah, big upset.
Big
We'll
upset.
talk about it here in just a second. We're going to take a look at last week's games. And, Coach, are you ready to roll with them?
Yep.
All right, we'll run them down.
Big upset, guys. We'll get to that one. Well, we're going to go over and see the picks. So Tester, he's tied with us now, with me now.
Yeah,
I started you last week.
I've got the list here.
No, I meant you're winning. Now, I got it right here, boy, somewhere.
Somewhere. Mr. Organization over here.
Well, I teach. I get
Yeah,
it done, boys.
you
I
teach.
get it done.
You
Get
teach.
it done there. I think it. Hey, boy.
All right, while we
I got
wait.
it right here. Well,
I was going to put some of that elevator music on while we was waiting.
first game, boys, on the docket. Abingdon at Ridgeview. And I told you it'd be 3-4 touchdowns.
41-0.
Wow.
Trenton Atkins ran wild. Heavy dose of the Atkins diet.
The Atkins diet is for real right now. I'm not on it. I'm eating these fries. Oh.
41-0.
What do you have, 5 touchdowns, 289 yards?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that doesn't surprise me that they won, but what does surprise me is that Abingdon didn't even reach the end zone.
Well,
Not taking nothing away from Ridgeview, which
that running back.
the running back
didn't
didn't play
That's
for
right.
Abingdon. I think he's out for the season.
Okay.
I don't think they would have beat him with him, but it would have. I
They
think
might would have gotten the end zone.
It would have.
They at least scored once,
A
probably.
big win for Ridgeview there to assure them more points that way. So
Boys, old Atkins for real, boys.
Yep.
He made me a believer.
I
So you didn't believe in him before?
Well, I really hadn't seen him until I watched him on TV the other day.
When Union beat him?
Yeah, but he was still real deal. He's the best player on the field. I feel like. Not taking away from Polier. Polier's pretty daggone good.
All right, let's go to the next game, Eric.
Lord, it went off, boy. There's Wi-Fi up in here. Hold on, it's got to look at my face. All right, Gate City at John Battle, boys. Great City still rolling. Big, baby, big. 49-21.
Well, you was the one that put them in your top 5.
I told you, they rolling right now, boys.
49-21, Gate City.
About what we
win.
expected, right?
Michael Calhoun, 166 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns for the Blue Devils. And that was a big Mountain 7 district win for Gate City there. Gate
Well,
City, by the way, improves to 4-5 with the win, 2-3 in the district. John Battle falls to 1-7 and 0-4 in the district. Right.
Boys, the
You know,
next
something's coming when you
game,
say Bulls.
Lebanon at Virginia High, and Coach Moore let them down,
I
boys.
know.
Did we all pick Virginia High?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moore picked Lebanon all year.
The one time I don't pick them, and they come through for me.
Big win for
That's
Lebanon.
the Lebanon.
That cost me right there. Big win for
Congratulations, Coach Webb.
Pioneers. I know they're terribly excited about getting a big win there, and 28-20 over Virginia High. And the woes continue for Virginia High. Could they be facing the 0-10 season?
They got Richlands next, right?
Yep.
And then who?
I'm not sure who they got after that.
Open, I think.
It's tough.
They lose.
Virginia High, long season for Coach Chris and his gang there, and but congratulations, Lebanon Pioneers.
Big win, Lebanon. Congratulations, Coach Webb.
All right.
All right, guys. Tazewell at Marion, it shocked me. Tazewell 61, Marion 21.
Shocked you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No shot.
But it's just like Richlands. Richlands and Marion left it all out on the field when they played each other. It's hard to get back going for both teams.
Well, this is a kind of a new thing here to mention this about the Tazewell Marion game. It's now the back of the Dragon Bowl, or the Dragon Bowl, whatever you want to call it. And Tazewell, pretty much rolled 61-21. Jordan with 5 touchdowns for the Bulldogs. And Scarlet Hurricane continue to struggle, but at least they do have a couple wins. 3 or 4 actually under their belt. 3 and 5 right now. Marion, Tazewell improves 5-3.
Yeah, they're coming along, boys. All right, next game, Narrows at Crick County. I think that was like 84-12 or something. I can't remember. I'm trying to find it, but I think it's up there.
Narrows, you and I know that it's going to come down to, there's going to be a really big ball game there in Region C. That's going to be it's going to involve Narrows.
58-0.
58 to absolute nothing.
Virginia High's got Marion and Richlands left.
Virginia High, Marion, and Richlands led.
2 tough ones, boys.
Marion,
Virginia High game could be Virginia High's opportunity to escape that winless category.
Thank you, Pistol, for that. Behind the scenes guy right
Behind
there.
the scenes. Always on the job here.
Always. All right, Grundy at Chihai. Chihai 42, Grundy 6.
Grundy struggled moving the ball all night long. Their offense was fairly ineffective.
What do you think? Defense, what do you think?
Well,
I guess it is effective.
The defense was very effective for Jill Howard. Sophomore running back Jonathan Gilly basically had his way with the Golden Wave.
Sophomore,
115 yards rushing. Of course, big non-district win for them. He had touchdown runs of 17, 68.
Well, they're rolling right now. They're playing some pretty good football, but we always had them up
This
there.
weekend.
Yeah, Jill Howard's. We'll
Until you beat them, ain't it,
make our
boys?
statement here in just a second about Jill Howley, but
All right. Honaker at Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry 49, Honaker 21.
About what we expected.
Yep.
yeah, now even the score
Yeah.
seemed. I wasn't.
That
surprised
probably
by the
right
score.
there. And like with this next one, Hurley at Holston. Hurley falls at the end of the game there with 40 seconds left. Holston recovered onside kick and won 28-22. And it's not out of the question yet, but Holston beating Hurley and Patrick Henry beating Honaker, they might not be a one of the BDD in the playoffs this year.
It is.
Now, how long's that been?
It is mathematically right now a possibility. What Coach Criggers
That
said.
it could happen.
You look at Hurley, they've lost 3 games. The last 3, they've lost 3 games by a total of 12, 14 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
2 overtime game, 3 overtime game, and then
Got a triple overtime, double overtime, and then
an onside kick with
Onside
51
kick.
seconds left. So they got to regroup, man.
Back to that PH game, Honaker down trailing 42-7 at halftime.
Yeah.
PH, they had the machine running there pretty good. Opening kickoff, I guess taking it 80 yards to the house probably didn't hurt things. But they got out on top of the Tigers big time. Honaker falls to 4-4 now. Trevor Dye held 70 yards rushing. Pretty solid running back there. So the Rebels defense was very effective as well. Setting up for a big showdown this week.
that's right, Chihau's Patrick Henry game. All right, we got next game, Twin Valley at Rye Cove. Not gonna lie, I was very shocked when I received the score on this one. 38, Twin Valley 8.
It was the Mason Harden show, 221 yards rushing, 18 carries for Rye Cove. My understanding was it was basically whatever he wanted he could do. But from the statistics that I'm hearing, the Panthers were able to make contact with Harden in the backfield approximately 20 times, in which they did not wrap up and make a tackle.
And he's Hoff's
So
cat,
you're
man.
making contact at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield. You got to make a play there, and
Right.
of course that didn't.
But the thing is there, the same way the game, I don't know if it was last year when it was back and forth, it was what, 50-48? The final score, was that the year before?
Yeah.
No, it was last year.
Yeah, last year.
And that's what I
Yeah.
felt like this game would be
I kind of did too. Yeah,
And
was
I
expecting
thought
the
it
same
would
thing.
be, but it is what it is, guys. And Rycove, what was that their second win back to back? They won the week before 60 to.
Beat Unaka, yeah. He had 250 some yards rushing against Unaka, and that makes Rycove, they're sitting at 4-4 now.
Is that other back that they had? Is he back?
Yeah, they're both playing.
Okay.
They both are playing. All right, so now we got Castlewood at J.I. Burton. J.I. Burton 28. Castlewood 7.
As they say, this one was a tough one for a half, 14-7, a halftime score, maybe. Or
Which
Yeah,
one?
it was they were up 7-6 at one time.
Castlewood and J.I. Burton. They might have been down.
Castlewood was up 7-6,
Yeah, 7-6
and
ball
then
At halftime.
after the first quarter. Now I don't know. You can check the halftime.
Yeah, I'm
score.
pretty sure it was
Yeah, halftime.
7-6, Castlewood 7, Burton 6 at the half. So Burton comes out, scores
vomit.
twice in the third period, puts up 16 points and pulls away. Senior fullback Mikey Culbertson scored 3 of 4 touchdowns. He had 4 touchdowns, scored 3 of them after halftime for the Raiders. Not after the whistle, after halftime. So he helps lead them. They improved, by the way, 6-2 and 3-0 do the Raiders. So they're chugging along as well. With the loss, Castlewood drops to 5-3, and they've got Twin Valley coming up this week.
All right, now we got Thomas Walker at Eastside 37, Thomas Walker 12.
We all
We all-
We all picked that one.
Eastside's schedule's pretty tough. I mean,
They're more battle tested.
Yeah.
I think. Walker goes to 6-2 with the loss. Eastside improves 4-4 with the victory. That was a big district win for them there.
Northwood at Royal Retreat. Royal Retreat 26, Northwood nothing. And there's a bunch of buddies that coaches there at
You mean you got buddies?
Royal Retreat and buddies with Tim Johnson there at
that's-
Northwood. So I bet that was funny conversations with Burke and Tim there.
I'd say they had a good time. Lucas Brewer, 263 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns for Rural Retreat. Big Hoagie district win there for Rural Retreat. Indians improved to 4-4, and Northwood drops to 1-7, 0-3 in the district. Another long season for Northwood.
And the game of the week, boys, Graham at the Big R. The hard-fought game. Graham squeaked it out, 37-10.
You knew better.
Yeah, Graham
You
by
knew
her.
better.
Graham, boys, they just caught him on a bad night.
You know who you don't want to play in the playoffs?
Schedule.
Graham.
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I can't make to see what my formula spits out today.
G-Man. Graham, early on.
And I will say, I watched the video
I was
of
getting ready to ask
the hit that Lester hit late on the kid from Richlands that got him ejected. He should not have been ejected for that hit.
Well, I know on the radio, I think it was Ron Brown, and everybody knows Ron. He's a straight up guy. He's a Richlands homer, but he was even making some comments on the radio that he didn't, at least at that time, didn't think it was an illegal hit.
No, when I seen it, I mean, he let in maybe personal foul, but nothing to be ejected for.
Did the ref have man scream on him?
Good question.
All that did was make it worse.
Well,
Because that boy they put in there,
well, he's had a little bit of experience playing quarterback. That kid has, so it wasn't nothing new to him when he stepped in.
and it was that cat said it's that transfer.
Oh yeah,
They kept saying that. And
yeah,
I'm
kind of
like,
the transfer.
well,
Yeah.
that's part of it.
Well, I know there's a lot of controversy online. We got to settle this thing. Nobody knew what that one kid's name was, and there was a couple of threads on Southwest Virginia Sports where everybody just freaked out over the name of one of those kids because his name wasn't on the roster, and it just descended into one comment after another. Who was this kid? Who was that kid? And
I thought it was going to turn into that kid out of St. Louis.
who cares? Who cares? The kid was playing, and he was eligible.
And
They
he was
got
eligible, that's
he's
right.
got his number wrong. I'm sure the last thing that those coaches and those athletic directors are worried about is making sure that every jersey and every number is
It's
properly the same, and nothing changes from week to week. Big win for Graham, changes things considerably, and I think it actually shines a little bit of light on how things are starting to shape up for the playoffs.
Not to change subject, boys, but I'm glad Jeremy Ward changed that from your purple helmets, Criggers.
That is nice. I like it.
If he just get rid of them purple things that you had, Jesus.
They beat Hurley once.
Y'all look like Barney coming out.
Beat Hurley once.
Well, speaking of Hurley, I mean, you mentioned some info about that game a minute ago, but we didn't talk a whole lot about it. This loss for Hurley, boys, is
That's a
really
brutal.
brutal loss.
Brutal.
Big time. We were.
And to get, losing on an onside kick. I mean, what's the odds on getting an onside kick? It's not very good.
No, not very good at all.
So.
And the kid was in position, broke down on the ball, and the ball took a good hop, went right over his head, and Cavaliers come up with it, and they end up scoring with 51 seconds left, and the Rebels go from winning to losing another really close ball game. And as you said before, it's going to really shake things up. Hurley goes to 4-4 now.
And it's a must-win Friday for them.
Yeah, big time. They really need to get. That's going to be a tough opponent too, Auburn.
Auburn might not have enough left. You know who they played this week? Yeah. Galax. It was 55-15.
What about that Wise game? Got anything on it?
We already talked about it.
Did we? No, we didn't talk about Wise.
Oh, Wise. Lee at Wise. Oh, that's 55-11. My bad, Big Luke.
55-11. C.J. Crabtree. Am I correct?
C.J. Crabtree had about 4 or 5 touches for 215
See where I
yards.
missed that.
6 touches and scored on 4 of them. That's a decent average right there.
Probably all on Buck Sweet.
Yeah. Carried the ball 6 times, scored 4. So, I mean, that's pretty good.
Well,
average.
that's one team that's absolutely rolling. You might not want to play them in the playoffs first.
Well, that's the kind of win you want this late in the season.
You want to be playing the way they're playing right
absolutely. Now. And Lehigh, the woes continue for them as they are still winless also. They go to 0-8, 0-3 in the conference. So Central improved 6-2.
Got a big one next week.
Yep.
Have y'all got scheduled for next week?
I think we're good. You're supposed to take care of that. All right, let's see here. I think that's all we've got. All right, that's all we've got on a recap. And you know what we forgot to do? We forgot to mention our sponsors. So at this time, we will do that. I'd like to thank our sponsors, folks, each week at this time. Well, actually, not at this time, but we like to thank them. That would be CarQuest Auto Parts out of Hurley Pharmacy, Economy Drug located in the Grundy Plaza, Wooden Horse Grill, Grundy Auto Sales, Buchanan Therapy Services, and Buchanan General Hospital. And of course, we also like to thank BELLACINO'S for allowing us to hosting us and allow us to record the program here. Stop by and see the folks at BELLACINO'S. And not only do they serve wonderful food, but they also cater, so give them a call. What's that number, Coach?
935-7828.
935-7828. Give them a call, BELLACINO'S. They cater. All right. Let's see. All right. Our CarQuest Auto Parts Performance of the Week. We'd like to thank the folks at CarQuest Auto Parts. Stop by and see them for all your auto parts needs. Trenton Adkins from Ridgeview High School. This is the 3rd time this young man has received this honor. And this past week he had 5 touchdowns for 289 yards rushing. That gives him 35 touchdowns on the season and over 2,000 yards rushing already this year. So congratulations to Trenton Atkins, our CarQuest Auto Parts Peak Performance of the Week. All right, up next we have our Big Talk segment brought to you by the Wooden Horse Grill. Food's so good that it'll make your tongue want to slap your brains out. I keep telling everybody it's the best known secret in Southwest Virginia. Take your honey down there, treat her to dinner, go by on the weekends. They have some really good entrees to select from, really good food. It's located in Hurley, Virginia. Wooden Horse Grill. Our Big Talk segment. Gentlemen, I have the 1A and the 2A ratings.
Yeah, I was looking at it right now.
And speaking of the ratings, I thought this would be a good time because a lot of people are head scratchers out there. They don't understand how the system works. So I'm going to kind of run it down real quick for you. In the Virginia High School League, we have a rating scale that we utilize. And it works similar to this. If you are playing a 1A school in the state of Virginia and you defeat that school, you get 16 points for a win. If you lose to that school, you only get 4 points. You can get points by losing. You're being credited for playing someone. So 16 for a win, 4 for a loss. 2A schools, you get 18 points, 6 for a loss. 3A schools, you get 20 points, 8 for a loss. So Ridgeview is going to pick up 20 points just by playing Abingdon the other day. All right. And it goes on, it increases in 2 point increments. 4A is 22 points, 5A 24, and so forth. Now, here's where it comes into play, and it's really impacts teams down the line. Not only do you get points for playing people at different levels, and you also get points if you lose to them, but if the opponent, for every win that they get, you receive 2 points. So for example, Holston defeated Hurley the other night. So Holston will receive 16 points for defeating Hurley. Hurley will only receive 4 points for playing Holston. For every win that for every win that Hurley has, Holston will pick up an additional 2 points. 2 points. All right. So
my formula is a lot easier now.
Your formula is not as complicated. And of course, there's some, in case there's a tie, in say for example 1A or 2A, if there is a tie, I don't even think we have ties anymore, do we? So it's worked into the system, so we don't even have to worry about that. But for each game won by a non-defeated opponent, there's 1 point awarded. So there's these points accumulate, and it's these points that will get you in the playoffs and determine where teams are situated in the playoffs. So let's take a look at this real quick. Not going to spend a lot of time on it. Number 1 in Region C, we'll go down to top 5. Region C, top 5 is Narrows, sitting at number 1 right now with 22.75 points. Galax, 22.75, is tied at 1. So Narrows and Galax are both tied for first. And George Wythe is second at 21.14, and followed by Covington with 16.25, and Auburn rounds it out. And that's who Hurley's playing this week, is Auburn. So Auburn is actually the number 5, if you will, in 1C. In 1D, Patrick Henry is number 1 with 23.25 points. Chilhowie, number 2 with 21.5. J.I. Burton coming in at 3 with 20.5. Thomas Walker, number 4 with 19.87. And Castlewood at number 5 with 17.75. Now, Honaker and Hurley right now are actually at 16.25. Both of them are tied for 8, spot number 8. And it's a possibility that Rural Retreat could slide in above one of them. Grundy right now is sitting at 10 and on the outside looking in. In 2C, we got Radford, Appomattox, Dan River, Gretna, and Glenver in that order, and Radford and Appomattox are tied for first. In 2D, we got Ridgeview sitting atop at number 1 with 24.75 points. Union at number 2 at 22.875. Graham at 3 with 20.375. And Richlands at 4, 19.875. So that strength of schedule has helped Richlands in the ranking. And number 5 would be Central Wise at 19.625. So that's the top 5 in 2D. Any comments in regarding this?
Going to be some shakeup next week.
I don't think they reward you enough points. Say if a single A, you get 16 points for beating a single A team.
Yep.
You just get 18 points for beating a double A
agree
team.
with that.
That's not enough. I
It
think
should be like 25
should
or
be like
22.
At least 20. Another
2-3 points.
Well, it's equal though all the way across the board. It just goes up 2 points. So you get 16 for 1A, 18 for 2A, 20, 22, 24. So it is 2 point increments.
Okay. Why not play a single A school that's going to have a winning record rather than play a bigger school? I just don't think you're rewarded enough for playing.
Awarded enough. Oh, I see what you're saying.
I don't think you're rewarded enough by playing a bigger school.
There's not enough incentive there to make you go play that 2A
What's 2
school.
points?
2 points. I agree.
It should be at least 4.
Now, in the case of, well, it would be the same thing would apply to Ridgeview then, by them playing. Now, for a 1A playing Abingdon, that would be a really big get right there. But for a 2A, it's just a 2 point gain on that. So I understand exactly where the incentive is not really there to play up.
Right. They got to make that incentive there.
So, you have any problem with those rankings, ratings?
I don't.
You don't. All right, one more thing here in the Big Talk segment. I want to mention, some of you guys may have seen this. This has happened in St. Louis, Missouri. Fellas, the entire coaching staff is fired, and the season came to an end for a high school football program in St. Louis when the head coach and coaching staff permitted one of the star football players on the team to play the first game of the year, and basically he was suspended in the final game of the previous
State
season.
championship game.
Yes, and so he had to, he played, he just wore someone else's jersey.
And in somebody else's name.
Yeah, and went under another name. And what's really weird about this is that it wasn't caught until about the 6th or 7th game of the season.
Because of tattoos.
Because of tattoos, yeah. They noticed that the tattoos in the game film, and that gave it away. And when it was brought to the attention of the coaching staff, the coach kind of tried to deflect it by saying, players do this all the time. They change jerseys. We didn't know. I mean, come on. How do you not know?
How old was this?
Huh?
What was the age group?
This is high school.
High school.
I thought you was talking about little.
No, it's high school.
No.
And all he had to do was sit out the first game.
Yeah.
And that was it.
And now the entire
Now
season's
the
been
season's
canceled.
over. They forfeit all their games.
Fired the entire staff. But that goes back to what we was talking about earlier. There is no ethics. There's no ethics. Whatever happened to doing what's right.
It's all about winning, buddy.
It's winning, you know. And this is
And if you don't, you get a trophy anyway.
There you go. It's all about ethics, and you just throw everything out. What kind of messages are being taught to these kids when this type of stuff is permitted and allowed? And is winning really that important? What do y'all think?
Not that important.
It's not that important.
No, not to where you going on, you know.
I think there's not enough principled
Ethics, morals, and
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of principled coaches out there, but people just don't have a lot of principles anymore. They don't sit there and say, I'm going to do the right thing even if it hurts the team. And the thought that the one thing that comes to my mind, you guys may remember this. Do you remember when Marshall won their first national championship game? The place kicker violated the curfew. And the coach said, I think it was Coach Pruitt at the time, sat him in the national championship game. And I believe they was playing Youngstown State. I may be wrong. Correct me on that one. But anyhow, the game comes down to a field goal.
and they missed.
No, they let him kick.
No, they didn't let him kick. No, he didn't let. He stuck to his guns, his principle, and had the backup come in. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the backup may have been the kid brother to the kid that got suspended, but he stuck to his guns, and the national championship was on the line there, and he let the backup kick it because he stuck to what he believed in, and in the end, it worked out well for him. But you don't see that.
What if he missed it?
Well, that's the question. What
It'd be a good learning point. The coach would have turned it around as like it is what it is,
Yeah,
guys.
it's a teaching point. Yeah, but not too many people would do that, and unfortunately, that's
Tommy Criggers
the
would.
state of
Oh,
things in
would.
some places. So if you've got a good coach that has some values and principles about him, hang on to him.
I've won and I've been beat like a drum. It is what it is.
All right. With that, we'll go take a break, and we'll be back right after these messages. All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Each week at this time, our BELLACINO'S Player of the Week is recognized, and this week we have a young man from Grundy High School. And Coach Tester, I'm going to turn it over to you.
All right, fellas. I don't think either team in the county won this week, did they? So,
Nope.
I mean, it was, so you kind of have to go with some of the guys, the better losses, I guess you could say. But the guy that, one of the guys that stood out, guys, is from Grundy High School, Mr. Austin Vance. He was quarterback for Grundy High School. He was 5 for 9 passing, 1 rushing TD for 25 yards, and the only TD of the game, which they went down to Chilhowie, which is probably the best team in the region.
Oh, yeah.
42-6. But he put up good numbers and had a good game. We're going to have Austin Vance on the show with us at this time. Come on up, Austin.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, man. All right, man, we know it's a tough game for you, and we all know how good Chilhowie is, and just talk a little bit about it. We know you got the only score of the game, and just talk a little bit about that and a little bit about the game.
Well, they was tough. They was very good on defense. We had them there at the first, and then they just slipped away. We couldn't really get the run game established, and not many of the passes was getting completed.
Right. I know they really, you was talking about their defense, how good their defense was, and that's one thing I remember when playing them, that they fly to the ball on defense, and it's hard to get anything on them. And but I see you did get a 25-yard. What was that? Just did you break loose, scrambling, and just take it in, or was it a called run?
It was a called run.
Bootleg.
It was a fake run, and I just rode out the other side.
Okay, so bootlegged out there. All right, you guys got any questions for
I
me?
know you know, playing Chilhowie, probably one of the better teams in the region, if not the best team, quite possibly. And you turn around there and just, you know, right before that, you guys have played Grundy, Honecker in a really tight game. What do you compare those two teams? So, you know, what do you see as the big difference between a team like Honecker and Chilhowie?
Honecker had a lot of size to them. They wasn't really quick, they were just strong.
Yeah.
But Chilhowie, they was like real fast, and all of them about the same size.
So more or less a speed team was Chilhowie, and Honecker more based on size. That's about what.
Hard to get that edge when defense is swarming to the ball.
What was their? You know, I remember when we played them first or second round playoffs. They're fundamentally sound defensively. You know, and I know they lost 25, but like you guys were talking earlier, they lost, was it 22 seniors they lost?
22. Yeah.
So the guys that's playing now had to play against those guys every day in practice.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
You know, they're a little battle tested, and I still think they're.
I don't know which one it was, but they said the one that killed them a lot was he's just a sophomore.
Yeah.
The one that scored the touchdowns, I don't know. They said he was pretty fast and just all around. But like I said, you're playing a team like Chilhowie,
Well, speaking of defense, I mean, you had a pretty good night on defensive side of the ball, didn't you? I mean, 7 or 8 tackles. And where you usually play at? What position?
I don't think you didn't play the.
No.
He didn't play no defense.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was got you
Yeah.
confused with someone else then.
that was McComas.
Yeah, they kind of about the same height. Him and.
Oh, okay. Well, both of them pretty big, tall, lanky boys there.
But anyway, you had the only TD on them, man, and you know, like I said, we know it didn't go the way you wanted, and this back half for you guys, I know you've had Honecker, Hurley, J.I. Burton, Chilhowie, and this week you got Tazewell coming up, and what you guys got to do to beat Tazewell, you think?
Just come out strong, and if we can get at least a 2 touchdown lead on them early, then they'll drop their heads.
I'll tell you what, you're talking about speed. Tazewell's going to have some speed as well. You're going to run into some more
Yeah,
speed. So
maybe more.
At least you have seen the speed, you know, at least from Chilhowie, so you'll be more adjusted to that. You know, back in the day, that was a big game for Grundy. The Tazewell game was, and that's back when they were in the same district with one another. But once again, now you're, like Coach Tester's talking about, you guys coming off some pretty daggone tough ball games here.
Y'all definitely battle tested,
Yeah.
you know, so you gotta, like I said, finish up strong, and man, we wish you well, and congratulations, and wish you well the rest of the year. You guys got any more?
Congratulations.
No,
Wish you the best.
congratulations.
All right, man. We appreciate you coming on. Thank
We'll be
you.
back right after this.
John Battle game.
All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Each week, this time here, starting in the last 2 or 3 weeks, Economy Drug, located in the Grundy Plaza, sponsors our Did You Know segment, and we've got some interesting Did You Know regarding football. Did you guys know that football was essentially rugby until about 1882, and they just changed some rules? And when they changed the rules, they gave each team 3 attempts to advance the ball. I believe it was 5 yards. And that's when the game started looking differently than rugby, and that was in 1882. That led to other changes that we now have in football, which today we call the football field the gridiron. That's where the lines came in on the field because it was a 5-yard first down kind of situation. And so they started drawing the lines on the field to help them better move the ball, because it was, you got 3 plays to move the ball 5 yards. So that's where that came into play. And finally, the last thing.
But they put them lines on the field.
Yeah, they put them lines on the field. Helped you out big time, wasn't it?
Well, now they changed it so when we're older and it goes, they're going to come back to 2019 when they change it and you couldn't hit nobody.
Yeah, they couldn't do that. Yep.
When the game started changing.
Tag, you're it. Kickers back in the old day. A kick was worth 5 points. A touchdown was only worth 4. So kickers were pretty much more appreciated back then.
And now 100 years later, they're trying to get rid of kickers.
Yeah, there you go, trying to eliminate it. Of course, there was no such thing as a forward pass, and we all know Don Newberry invented the forward pass. I don't know if you know that or not. Did you know that? No. Coach Newberry said he invented the forward pass. The coach called timeout, and actually, I think he said Coach Rowe was the quarterback. Of course, you know that was a long time ago. And probably none of this is true, of course. But he says that he looks over, Coach Rowe looked at him and said, "Coach, what would happen if I took this ball and threw it through the air and somebody went down the field and caught it?" Coach Newberry said, "You know, son, so that might just work. Never seen it before, but it might work." So he told Coach Rowe, Greg Rowe, to take the football and throw it. And when he did,
the rest is history.
Somebody caught it, and the rest is history.
Good for Coach Newberry.
Good for Coach Newberry.
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have a Peyton Manning or a Tom Brady.
Sure wouldn't. Boy, so
that's true.
Now you know the rest of the story. All right, are you ready, Coach Criggers?
I guess.
Each week at this time, we attempt to stump the CRIG, and it's brought to you by Grundy Auto Sales, and thanks to them for sponsoring this segment of the program. We have an envelope that has been hermetically sealed and placed in a bank vault for the last 7 days under guard of armed security, and it was recently delivered in a Brinks armored truck. And the gentleman delivered it a minute ago, handed it over to Pistol. Pistol, you have not seen this question, have you? I have not seen it, and you have not either.
No.
That is correct. Well, let's take a look.
But I'm going to tell you, I passed my refereeing test today, so I'm on it.
All right, Johnny Poole, did you hear that?
Passed it.
Passed it, baby.
Passed it enough to where I can ref in a state basketball tournament.
All right, here we go. Let's take a look at it. If a word is misspelled in the dictionary, how would we know?
No,
Oh, we got it.
it's easy. The word ain't misspelled in the dictionary.
How would we know if it is?
It's not. It's the dictionary. The dictionary is right.
Who is the dictionary?
Tom Dictionary was his name.
Tom Dictionary.
Mr. Dictionary is not wrong when you look a word up.
So,
Ever.
Is he the one that makes up words?
Yes, Tom Dictionary.
Okay, so
If you look at a word in the dictionary, it is not misspelled.
does he decide what the words mean too?
Yes, the dictionary decides what the word means and everything.
So the dictionary's named after the man.
Yes.
Sounds good to me. I can take it.
Just like Beth Encyclopedia.
Huh?
Beth Encyclopedia.
Beth Encyclopedia. And that's her name?
Yeah, and she puts the stuff in the encyclopedias.
Would it be misspelled in there?
No, it's just, I don't even know
She
what the
probably checks
encyclopedia
what is
tells you.
encyclopedia?
What does it tell you?
Pretty much everything.
All right, so there, she knows it all.
If she don't know how to spell it, she just asks Tom Dictionary.
That's right.
Well, that's pretty much nailed that one, Chuck.
Easy as that, boys.
Easy as that.
Tom and Beth.
Easy, ain't it? Easy.
Boys, y'all gonna have to come up with something.
We're gonna have to come
I
up with
told you I
something.
passed that basketball test today, boys. I'm ready.
Well, any man that can pass that test should be able to
I
pass
think
it.
parents should have to take that
I'm
test.
full in favor
Then
of
they would
that.
never yell at us.
Yeah, they'd still yell. All right, folks, we failed once again to stump the CRIG.
Tom
That's how
Dictionary.
it goes. Tom Dictionary and Beth Encyclopedia. So check them out sometimes. We'll be back right after these messages. All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Now it's time for our IGA. No, excuse me. Yeah, it is. It's time for IGA Top 5, gentlemen. Just about forgot what time it was. Stop by and see the folks at Dotson's IGA for your vegetable trays, your meat trays, sandwich trays, fruit trays, anything that you might need. They even have Climax bottled water.
Ain't even going there.
And you go in there, and guess what else they have?
Meat.
And tell them about that
You
meat.
can't beat their meat.
Here's for the man himself, boys.
Unless you put some of that Climax water on.
Well, they've got it. I saw it, boys, by the pallet. Yeah, I saw it. All right, fellas, let's take a look at our IGA top 5. Who wants to go first this week? Who wants to jump in, both feet running?
Not me.
You looking at me, so you want
I'm
me to
still
go first?
finagling my
Your
my formula.
All right.
Well, you want me to go first?
Yeah, you're on the
Alright,
clock.
hey, I'm going on the clock. At 1A this week, I got the East Side Spartans coming in at the number 5 spot in
Go
the
Spartans.
1A. Number 4, I got
Go
the John I.
Spartans.
Burton Raiders. At number 4. Number
Raiders.
3, I still got Mark Palmer's Patrick Henry Rebels. Number 2 is the Chilhowie, what's their last name?
Warriors.
Number
Gonna be a
1.
rough weekend.
Number 1 is still Galax, and in my opinion, they would be number 1 in my 2A poll. In 2A at number 5, I got Burley, still hanging on by a thread. Is Coach Criggers, Big R, hanging at number 5. Number 4 is Travis Turner's Union Bears.
The Bears.
Number 3 is them Central Wise Warriors. Got a big game coming up this week at Gate City. Number 2, I still got Rose Ridge, the Ridgeview Wolfpack at number 2. And number 1, without a doubt, is Mr. Palmer's Graham G. Men after the statement win this
Statement
week.
win.
Statement.
Well, that's a big win for them. A big upset.
Statement win. Look here, coming in.
Big upset.
15 seconds under time. That's worth at least 3 points. There you go. 3 points.
I'm going to need them.
Plus 3 points for Tester coming in there. You want me to go next?
Yep.
I'll be more than happy to. All right, you ready? All right. We'll start out in 1A. In 1A, I've got the J.I. Burton Raiders at number 5. I've got the Patrick Henry Rebels, Malibu Mark, sliding back to number 4. Big game coming up this week, but I slid them back. I got the Chilhowie Warriors at number 3. And number 2, got the NARS Green Wave. And at number 1, all alone, I've got Galax.
Boys, hold on. I forgot about Narrows in there. I mean, I didn't know we was going up that far again.
He forgets every week.
Well,
Galax, they don't watch our show.
Number 5 on 2A, I got the Big R at number 5.
well,
I
that's
still
big.
think they got some stuff to work out, but I'm still hanging on to them there. Central Wise, number 4. I got the Ridgeview Wolfpack at number 3 coming in. I think they're going to be tough in the playoffs. They seem to be getting better. Number 2, the Union Bears. And at number 1, I got the G-Man.
Gosh, y'all are all about that big upset.
104, boys. I come in at 104. I give you 3 points for coming in 15. That'd be 5,000 points for me. All right. How about you?
My top 5 in single A and 1A. Burton is at 5, which we all probably, agree with. Our Patrick Henry at 4.
Hey.
Chilhowie at 3.
Hey.
And I got Galax at 2. And I've got the Nares Green Wave at number 1 in the 1A. They doing what they're supposed to do each week. They ain't barely winning, they're winning. And I'm going to give them a nod.
Nod to the Nars Green
What's
Wave?
Galax doing?
Pretty much the same thing.
But they winning big.
So is Nares. I know, but I got a feeling. Boys,
Well,
a
that's
year,
gas.
it comes
That's gas.
there comes a year that you just feel, your school feels it, buddy. They're all about it over there right now, and that goes a long ways. Not saying they will.
Kind of like last week.
But that's how I feel right now at this point in time. All right, let's go to the 2A. I'm going to start with my number 2 team that I got in there. Number 2, coming in at number 2 is Y Central. I got number 2 at Y Central at number 2, baby.
Okay.
The Ridgeview Warriors at number 3. Ridgeview Wolfpack, number 3. Wolfpack.
You got a how? Okay.
And at number 4, I got the Great City Blue Devils.
Oh.
And guys, I don't have a number 5 team because I redid my formula and I forgot one aspect of it. Snake Palmer. I had to put the Snake Palmer effect in with the formula, and guess what I come up with? 2 number 1s. The big R and the big G. So my number 1 teams in 2A is the big R and the big G men. Tied.
How about that?
Boys, that's what the formula, I forgot.
Yeah, well.
2 number 1s.
So how, if Snake Palmer's coaching at Graham, how does Richland still tile?
It's that formula. I still got them in there.
Because he's from.
Yeah, he's from Richland.
The formula figures in
Where he's from. And where he coached before.
See, I'm starting to understand this.
See? And that put it in, and when it come up, the big R and the big G men are number 1 in my 2A.
I hope Jeremy Ward don't never put that formula in.
All right, you come in at 150.
Coach.
150, that's 20 seconds over. It's minus 10,000 points.
Whatever, boys.
All
but
right.
ain't nobody has 2 number 1s.
Okay, all right, well, you fellas ready for our...
Procrastination.
Buchanan General Hospital pigskin prognostication. So you ready?
I am.
Are you ready?
I am.
All right, we'll be back right after this then. All right, folks, welcome back to the show. I'd like to thank folks at Buchanan General Hospital for sponsoring our pigskin prognostications. And gentlemen, we had a interesting week last week. I tried to make stuff happen that did not work out too well. My overall record for this past week was 10-4. Coach Tester, you had a pretty good week.
He's winning.
Well, he was 10-4 also, wasn't he?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I was 11-3.
11-3, excuse me.
Right,
Oh,
man.
man, 11-3. I wrote it down wrong. 11-3, and Coach Criggers
Was 10-4.
10-4. All right. So, Coach Criggers, you're down there where I was at. Overall, Coach Criggers is now sitting at 78-24. Coach Tester 77-25, and I am sitting at 74-28.
I had to take the lead, man. Critter can't be ahead.
Well, we'll look at these numbers here in a
I was
minute.
ahead last week, and I was.
Tester 67-11, 78. Hang on a second. 78-24.
That formula ain't right, boys, because
67.
I was ahead last week.
I got you. Hang on a
God.
second. Coach Tester
should be up
is
by
now
1.
78-24. Coach Criggers, you are sitting at 77-25.
Lord have mercy.
How's that?
Well, that's fine.
That's pretty good math, ain't it?
Yeah, our first game on the docket, guys, is a big one. Ridgeview and Pikeville, Kentucky.
Well, that's going to be a heck of a ball game.
Where's it at?
At Pikeville. Pikeville.
You can't. Yeah, I'm going to go with. You're saying Pikeville?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going Pikeville also. I think.
Playing
Home field
out of state,
advantage,
it is
in fact,
what it
playing
is.
out of
And
state.
Pikeville throws the ball pretty good.
Pikeville's a different beast. I'm going to go with the Pike.
All right.
Pike.
Union at Falconland. Abingdon.
This could be interesting, boys.
Union. They might.
The Bears.
Hey, boys, I could have slid down in there. They didn't even make my top 5, and I didn't even have a 5. I should have done it.
But you did.
I did.
Too late.
I will this week,
Yeah.
if the formula fits.
If the formula works. I'm going to go with Union also. Is what you got?
Yeah.
But I tell you what, I think it'll be a closer game than what the Abingdon Ridgeview game was.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Graham at Fort Chisel. G-Men.
G-Men all the way in this one. Fort's just not the team that they used to be.
No. Graham.
Richlands at Lebanon.
Take 'em.
Come on, more.
Take 'em.
Boys, I can't.
Another tough one for Richlands, boys.
It's another tough game for the Blues.
I'll go Big R. They getting back on track this week.
I'm going to go Big R.
I believe I'll agree with you this week.
I think the party's over for Lebanon. It's fun while it lasted.
Grundy at Tazewell. Tazewell.
You going with that?
Too much speed, boys.
No. You on that wagon?
Yeah, I am, boys. The speed.
Boy, he picked Tassel.
Tazewell Bulldogs, boys. Y'all 60-some points last week. It's pretty good. Boy, speed.
I think
They got more speed.
Too much speed for
Who they
Grundy. Grundy.
Oh,
Who they
yeah.
play? I got Tassel.
Tazzle.
Oh, all right. Virginia High. Home against Marion. I'm going to pick Marion. Because they played the Big R tough.
I'm going to pick Marion. I'm a fan of Coach Smith there, so I'm going to pull for him. And
I'm a big fan of Coach Smith too. I played ball with him in college, but I think Virginia High gonna get them one this week.
boys.
I caught him.
Calling the upset.
Caught
I'm
him.
gonna think Jim going Virginia High.
How about that?
All right. What we got next?
How about Twin Valley and Castlewood?
I'm getting to the one. I'm getting there.
Well, you said what we got next.
I know it. I'm finding it, boys.
Disoriented or something here.
All right.
It's in dirty
Northwood
time.
at Honeacre.
Where's it at?
At Honeacre.
Boys, I'm going to take Homeacre in this.
I'm
Honeacre.
gonna take a Honeacre a close one.
Hurley. Holston. The Auburn Tigers. I don't know if they're the
You
Tigers.
said Holston or hosting?
Hosting.
Oh, it sounded like you said Holston. didn't it?
Hurley at home against Auburn, boys.
Boys, I'm telling you, after that trip to the Clift, Auburn's not going to feel the best. Ever was. But I still think it got too much for the Rebels. I think Hurley's on the skid right now, and it's unfortunate for them. They're going to play a tough team. I think they're ranked 4 right now in 1C. I think
It's a
Auburn's
big game for Hurley, too.
Yeah, I mean, wish them best of luck, but I really think Auburn's going to take it. Who you got, Coach?
I agree with you, too. I'm going to take Auburn. The schedule they play, I mean, 4-4 up there. I mean, I don't know.
Boys, this is a must-win situation for Hurley. It's a tough bunch coming to the Clift.
Yeah.
We got him calling it that now.
Got a tough bunch coming in, so I'm calling the Hurley Rebels out, man. I've picked them every week. And I'm going with them again at the Cliff. Don't let me down, Rebels.
Big
We're
match
hanging
for
on.
him.
We're
Big
hanging
game.
on.
Back's against the wall, he still got you back. All right,
Castlewood hosting Twin Valley Panthers.
where's that? I'm just kidding.
Well, single.
Who you got?
I got Castlewood. It gives me trying to find that ball for 2 weeks. Running that single lane.
I'm gonna do that formula for a biggest one. Tom and Criggers used to coach her, right? And that goes into it. Go McCastlewood.
Well, boys, I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah, Moore used to coach her too.
Yeah.
Let me throw it
Yeah,
for
put
you.
that in there.
Go to Castlewood.
That didn't change nothing, did it? I feel like, boys, they're gonna right the ship this week. They're gonna figure out what's wrong with it, and offense is going to be more productive. They're going to practice defensively.
But
And
The spinner.
The scout team is not going to use a ball. That will help them remember their assignments. And I'm going to pick Twin Valley. Well, you got that.
All
The
right.
purple.
East Side and Holston, and it's at East Side. I'm going with East Side.
Ooh, boys, that's a big one.
I know
Hosting at Eastside.
it. Yes.
I'm
East Side boys play.
I'm gonna roll with Mike Rhodes and
I
the
am
Eastside
too.
Spartans.
Ken to Dusty Roads. American Dream.
I've dined with kings and I've dined with queens, and I've eaten pork and beans. The American Dream at the road.
Who you pick?
Boys, I'm gonna stick with Holston. They got me drinking the Kool-Aid right now.
Don't get choked.
All right, that's 10.
Well, I got J.I. Burton and Thomas Walker here.
Oh, that's-
J.I. Burton and
J.I.
Rye Cove.
Is it Burton and Cove?
Yep, J.I. Burton. I picked them.
Burton, I got Burton in that one. What you got, Coach?
Burton.
Burton, boys, I'm telling you, it might be the most dangerous team in this 1D playoff right now.
No. Joe
Well,
To be the man.
Yeah, I should have read
All right.
yeah,
Thomas Walker is home against Twin Springs.
yeah, Tom Walker's got that one.
I'll go with Thomas Walker. And the game of the week, boys.
Hold on, man. I ain't picked. I'm still thinking. Let me do that formula over here a minute. So,
Nick Johnson from Grundy.
Nick Johnson, Twin Spring. No. I'm gonna go with Nicky Johnson and Thomas Walker.
Pioneers,
On this
boys.
one.
Pioneers.
And the game of the week. Chihai at Patrick Henry Rebels. I'm going with Chihai.
You're a smart man.
Boys, I don't know if y'all caught this, you probably didn't, don't pay attention to nothing, but anyhow, I moved Chilhowie up and put PH back in my poll this week because I've already decided in my mind that Chilhowie's the better team. So I'm going with Chilhowie in this one. And
I'm just going on this. I mean, when you banged up, boys,
that's what I will admit that has a lot to do with my decision.
Where's the game at?
at Patrick
PH.
Henry.
Well, they're still banged up. I don't know about the back. I don't think they've been playing as well as they was. And I just think Chilhowie's going to come out on top of this one, so I'm going with Chilhowie.
All right, let's cross the board, boys. We got Chilhowie game of the week. What does Chilhowie have to do to win this game?
What they've done the past 2 years.
I think they're bringing that into the game, even though Patrick Henry's got a better record coming in, probably been ranked higher. Patrick Henry,
They're all healthy.
they still have that they still have that underdog mentality that, you know, they haven't won that game. It's like we always say here, in order to beat a team, you got to beat the team. So they haven't done that yet, whereas Chilhowie's got that vibe going. You know, it carries over. I don't care if you graduate 17, 18 kids, 20 kids, whatever it is. Winning breeds success, and the kids coming behind them feel like they own a part of that, and they've got something to prove. So
They have to win. These
Yeah.
younger kids have to win. The 20-some seniors pulled them through
yeah.
last couple years, or maybe last year. I don't know about the year before, but you're right. They got to win this game
And
to get
PH
any respect.
Yeah, and it's you're right to get the respect. But PH, on the other hand, they've worked for this moment. They've got there. but at the same time, the monkey is still on their back, and you got to beat Chilhowie. You have to beat them. I don't care if you do have the better team, or they graduated 17, 18, 20 players. You still have to beat them, and I think that could be the big difference. I think if PH can control the ball, keep Chilhowie off the field, the offense off the field, and do what Coach Palmer likes to do, I think they can win. But I'm gonna give Chilhowie the edge on the road.
Gonna give them the nod.
Yep.
I
Y'all agree?
Big game, guys.
Big
game.
time game. Major ramifications in their playoff picture. All right, guys, got anything else? That's all we've got on our picks this week.
Hey, it looks like the Astros is gonna wrap up the World Series tomorrow.
What's that?
Yeah.
We didn't do Central and Gate City, boys. I mean,
We got room for a 14th game.
Yeah. Boys,
Y'all-
we wasn't prepared this
Y'all
week.
put Thomas Walker and Twin Springs on there, and we didn't put Central.
Y'all, don't put
That's
y'all
my
on
bad.
it.
Well, I was just,
Man, say you got
Luke,
one
hey,
job.
Luke,
you
man,
brought
I'm
for this-
struggling
you
today,
brought for this
man.
dude.
You got
I'm
one
struggling.
job. I'm telling you, it's a
Could be, hey,
fried you eat
could be
well.
the biggest game in Region 2D.
It is a big game. That's my bad.
I'll
My
give you-
bad.
I'll give you hats off for that.
You're fired on looking these games up.
Well,
All
you
right.
usually the ones who send them to me.
Well, he sent it to
You got a point there.
By the way,
All
give Buchanan County Sports a shout out for always giving us these games.
Except this week.
Yep.
I forgot to ask this week.
Check them out for Kenny County Sports. So, what you guys got on that one? What do you think?
Boys, you got it. I got them at number 2. I'm going with the Y Central Warriors. Hot, playing good ball right now at the right time.
I think I agree with you.
I mean, boys, it is what it is. I
We're
think
going
the
into
speed's
a
too
dangerous
much. Yes.
situation
I-
at Legion.
Yeah, definitely
Something that could be easy might not be so easy.
hostile
Friday.
territory. No doubt
Yes,
about
it's
it.
gonna be a good game. I just think we're kind of facing some similarities between Union as we face with Union with that big Calhoun kid, and I think we got to get to him before
He
he
gets
gets
rolling.
going
Yeah.
because he's a load to bring down, and they kind of run some of the same offense that Union runs.
Which is good for you all because you've seen it.
Right. So hopefully we can get after it, and like I said, they're a physical big bunch, and they'll be ready to play. So I'm going with Central Wise.
Well, I agree with you. It's going to be a tough place to go in and play. Gate City's got a little bit of momentum going. They are primed for an upset. We know that they're perfectly
They're capable
of it. And this could be, this is an opportunity for Wise to show what they've got. They showed it last week. All right, we know that.
Week before.
Week before they showed that. This week it wasn't that difficult. But
But you do it again
this is a tough game now. All right, are you?
because you're expected to
Are you
win.
a one-hit wonder, or are you going to be that team that wins that game that has to be won? So I'm going with Wise as well. All right, you guys have anything else?
Gosh, I forget anything else, boys. I struggled today. That Mance cream got me tore all to pieces.
All right, fellas, you don't have nothing else?
I'm
You
good.
don't. All right. Till next time, I'm Coach Moore,
Coach Tester.
Coach Criggers.
reminding you
I think-
that if life gives you melons, you've probably got dyslexia. Good day.
Takes the snap, short drop.